After photographer Bian Yuan wraps up shooting in Shandong, where he captured just one image that satisfied him, he moves on to Shanxi province. Bian Yuan has assigned himself the task of photographing a group of crested ibis taking off from a tree. Unfortunately, his first attempt fails due to lack of light.
现在是早晨6点15，外边下着小雨。
The crested ibis will leave an overnight roost at about 7 o'clock in the morning during the short days of early spring. It's a cloudy day and the light is not great for taking photos. This is proving to be Bian's biggest headache. To avoid spooking the birds, he will use camouflage.
现在是北京时间的6点半，天空还很黑。这个地方呢，按照昨天拍摄的时间，大概7点多钟，这个天才亮。这样的话，我还有半个小时是等待的时间。听到没有？朱鹮在叫。
Getting enough light still proves to be a big problem.
昨天晚上我试了一下呢，结果呢，这个照度啊还是不行。
There are about the same number of birds as on the previous day. Bian Yuan plans to leave very early on the following 2 mornings to ensure success.
你不起来，不赶在天亮之前，不到现场去伪装好，你怎么拍？没法拍。所以说，你在跟着鸟类在争夺光线的时间。我根本就拍不了这个光线，太暗了。
It's nearly 7 o'clock. While he waits for the birds to begin flying, Bian Yuan takes a few test shots. He notices the images have a grainy look because the sensitivity of the camera is set very high. If the birds started from the tree now, the results would not be good. Bian is only able to photograph a handful of birds. These pictures are also affected by the high sensitivity setting of his camera.
我们只是在看朱鹮，在听朱鹮的叫声，而在这种照度下，我们没法拍。啊。 我即使是现在使用现在科技含量最高的了，这个相机，啊，感光度都到了，确切的再确认一下，都到了5万多，啊，感光度，也在这种情况下也没办法。
In addition to the crested ibis, Bian also wants to photograph black-necked cranes in Yunnan. Their migration starts in March, so he decides to leave Shanxi for the drive south.
所以说，拍一个良好的画面是不太容易的，天时地利人和。
Bian Yuan's preparation and the choice of location for capturing images of the crested ibis was superb, but the timing was wrong. His next destination is Dashanbao in Yunnan, but he cannot predict his chances of success there. Dahaidze Lake in Darshambao is at an altitude of more than 3,000 meters. Blacknecked cranes come here for the winter. In 1998, Bien spent more than 50 days at the lake and managed to get just one satisfactory picture. He now hopes to photograph cranes flying off into the sky. Bien Yuan will soon arrive at the lake, but heavy fog blankets his surroundings. As he ascends, the fog increases.
能见度呢，也就是这个30米，所以我的车速呢只能开到20迈。
Like the Crested Ibis, Blacknecked cranes leave their overnight roosts in the morning and return at dusk. They are also very sensitive to intruders in their surroundings. Bien wants to photograph them soaring into the sky, but not a single crane is visible.
像今天早上这么大的雾啊，很有可能雾散了，鹤飞了，我们也没拍到照片，这极有可能的。
Bien decides to take a look from a nearby hill. The cranes are about 100 meters away, but difficult to see in the thick fog. The cranes by the shore appear ready to take off.
哎呀，洗个大澡，效果不好。7点45，最后一批河飞走。本以为今天早上能是个好天气，你看，看不着天，现在还看不着太阳，这就是大山包的天气。再转个地方看一看吧。
All of the area is blanketed by fog. Bien Yuan goes to the dam, hoping he can capture a fly past up close.
哎，
你什么时候来的？
哎，我天哪！你怎么了？
我昨天晚上到。
啊！
哎呀，边眼你真是的！
我这从
又在大山包遇到你。
对呀，
那么好的，对，那么好的那个。
Bien Yuan encounters an old friend. In 1998, they came here together to photograph black-necked cranes. They have not seen each other for 15 years. Bien Yuan's friend is also passionate about bird photography. He has some bad news. The fog is unlikely to lift for quite some time, possibly days.
也能见度也就30米吧，就30米。
If the fog really does last several days, his trip to Yunnan will be unsuccessful. It's almost noon and the fog remains heavy.
这雾不散呢，这鹤来了也拍不到，没办法。哎呀！
Early the next morning, Dashanbao is still covered in thick fog. Bian arrives at a blind in front of the lake to photograph the cranes at a very short distance. He hopes to capture a beautiful scene where dewdrops hang from the feathers of the cranes.
游人也不来了，海鸟的人也走了，就剩下我了。我现在离客的距离也就是30米，但是雾就这么大，自动去浇的话已经去不上浇了，只能改成手工浇。
The black-necked cranes are wet this morning, but it's not what Bian had envisioned. There are no picturesque dewdrops on feathers.
这不是我想要的画面。一点概念都没有。
Yunnan is the last stop on his photographic odyssey. It's not easy to get a good, clear shot of the cranes in such thick fog, let alone capture a masterpiece.
有风就好，风越大越好，能吹散的。
The fog just won't lift, and Bian is feeling disappointment.
遗憾，是伴随着成功。乘兴而来，败兴而归。
The fog has still not cleared by noon. After lunch, Bian Yuan goes back to the blind. It's 1 o'clock and the crane feeder has arrived. Attracted by food, the cranes appear out of the fog. More and more cranes arrive. This is the first time in 2 days that Bian has managed to see so many cranes at one time. Very few of them are flying, and he can only capture images of cranes eating or fighting. The conditions gradually begin to improve. The fog starts to thin late in the afternoon, revealing the cranes more clearly. Slowly, the beauty of the lake is unveiled. One of the local caretaker staff has been working here for 10 years and relates that he's only seen such a phenomenon 3 times in his tenure.
大海子黑颈河保护站的站长都说，很难碰到这样的场景，极为罕见。
Finally, Bian has a clear view of the cranes. But what he really wants is a shot of the cranes soaring in the air. At dusk, the black-necked cranes will return to their nightly shelters. Bien decides to move to higher ground. The setting sun signals that it's time for the cranes to leave for their overnight roosts. Bien decides to set his camera at a slower shutter speed. He's taking a risk, however, as a slower shutter increases the chances of blurry pictures. After some time, only one crane is seen flying in the distance. There are no flocks. Relying on past experience, however, Bien decides he's in the right spot.
这个鸟它来决定这个夜视地的问题，它盘旋看这个地方安全不安全，其他的才能够往下落，陆续那边还会有。
He waits to see if his prediction is correct. Soon, another 5 cranes appear, all flying towards the lake.
怎么样？啊？准不？
And after the arrival of these 5 cranes, a large group follows. Bien Yuan's prediction is proving to be correct. He decides to return to the same place before sunrise tomorrow.
"黑警车在叫，我现在要迅速的架上一台相机，啊，迅速的要架上一台相机，以免这个黑警车飞起来。好，那我现在呢，马上要进入到现场。
Black-necked cranes can be very active in the morning. When the sun rises, they will fly away. This is the moment Bien has been preparing for. He finds some cranes standing in a row, just as the sun rises behind them. They form a beautiful silhouette in front of the sun. The sunlight will soon be too intense, so Bien must exploit this opportunity quickly. Groups of black-necked cranes begin taking flight. The special combination of morning light and birds could give him an extraordinary scene. The cranes are taking to the air. This is the moment of truth. The withered grass is frozen, but Bien is on his knees, trying to get the perfect shot, and doesn't feel any discomfort. As the sun rises, the light changes rapidly. Now, the reflection of the sun on the lake has a mushroom-like appearance. Bien Yuan waits for the cranes to fly over it. Bien Yuan captures another masterpiece. But it's not by mere chance that he is successful. His achievement is the result of perseverance and a passion for the art of bird photography. Bien makes his way to a spot beside the lake where he can check the pictures he has taken this morning.
今早上的光线感觉不错，但是呢，我现在正在导这个图，我就等着那张，我看一看能不能有可能。像这个，你看，像什么？是一个蘑菇，啊，像蘑菇。
Bien Yuan is satisfied with this morning's work. The light created a unique feeling, and he managed to capture cranes both in flight and standing still. He will return with 2 masterpieces. Yunnan is his last stop, and he's now ready to return to Dalian. He has been on the road for half a month. He hasn't had time to pay much attention to his appearance.
一路上精疲力尽，现在头发也绞了，胡子也刮了。啊！
Bien Yuan reaches Yantai in Shandong province, where he will take a ferry to Dalian. On this journey, he has driven solo across 22 provinces, covering about 7,000 kilometers. He has captured over 20,000 images. He considers only 2 of them to be true masterpieces. To friends, Bien might seem a little unusual. He's made a great effort and spent a great deal of money, but only took 2 truly fine pictures. Bien sees this as his major quest. He wants to preserve the majesty and beauty of the birds for all time.
在我的生命当中，拍摄鸟类是我的精神支柱，我的躯体还能在动，是吧？我能呼吸，能举起相机，肯定要去表现，去拍这个。